Taylor from Taste. I'm here to discuss The Walking Dead Season 9 finale, The Storm. It was Season 9, Episode 16. I actually liked that they did the Pikes last week. I also want to know if you guys, with the Pikes, realize something about Henry's, lips being weird, almost like they tortured him. I do believe Sadiq is innocent in all this because, A, I do believe the Highwayman and DJ would just be like, yo, boom. But I also, while it's irking me as to why Alpha chose him, I don't think he betrayed the group. Especially the way Avi Nash, the actor who portrays Sadiq, was talking on The Talking Dead. I don't think he betrayed the group at all. So, the Storm, now that we got that out of the way, the Storm picks up a few months after the deaths, because you could track it through Rosita's pregnancy. She's about 5-6 months pregnant. There is a storm coming, and the kingdom has fallen because there was a fire, most likely caused by the boilers going out. Either the boilers started the fire, or somebody went to go put, candles or something, and that didn't end well. So the kingdom has fallen. They are being transported to Hilltop, which has a council now that seems to be run by Yumiko and Magna, or they're at least on the council. We saw no trace of Connie, Kelly, or Luke at this time. It makes sense for Luke because around the time they were filming episodes 9-15 and 9-16, probably even 9-14, that was when the Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald press was going on, so Dan Fogler probably either had it in his contract that episode he might not be able to be in. In terms of Angel Theory and Lauren Ridloff, I do not know. But basically, they are not in it. But they have to transport everybody from the kingdom to Hilltop, and of course, the people that go to Alexandria would then go to Alexandria. So, basically, what happened was everybody hates Lydia. She feels very alone. She actually attempts to do what Carol ends up doing in the comic books, which is commit suicide via a walker bite with the Shining zombie. Shout out to whoever wrote the line, and it was said by Alden, "Are you sure it's not them?" meaning the Whispers, because for the most part, those walkers would be frozen, and they were. So my guess is the few that were left walking or that were woken up were, on the verge of final death before it happened, the storm, and then everything happened. So Carol's keeping an eye on her. Ezekiel, because now I'm on the Donnie ship, was like, you need to stay away from Carol, Daryl, because I need my woman back, I need my family back. First off, stop with your Ron Weasley level jealousy and let the Harry Hermione duo known as Daryl and Carol be. Especially since at that point, I think Daryl had made up his mind he was going to take Lydia in as a surrogate daughter type deal. So then back at Alexandria, they have 3 places for people to go. It was, I forget whose house, and then it was the barn and Aaron's house. So my guess is that the group was split in 3, and the group that got to take Negan was, Ezekiel was talking on a radio at the beginning, and took the charter and everything, and they left a box of Henry stuff there, including a Shiva pin. So back at Alexandria anyway, Judith is supposed to be looking after the dog, and she can't find the dog, and she can't find him, which of course is making her upset, and Negan's like, don't worry about the dog, because the group that decides to take Negan is also the group that decides to take Judith and RJ, that group being the Love Quadrangle and a few others. And Negan commenting on the Love Quadrangle may have been one of the single greatest scenes in this show. It was absolutely hilarious. But then Eugene realizes that something is smelling funny, that the fire is, the flue to the chimney is blocked. So the fire is going to explode, which it does. And they have to go and use an Eskimo way of getting across snow, which is a rope line to get across. Now, a lot of people are complaining, why didn't anybody else but Negan go after Judith? Rosina can't. She's pregnant, and B, Sadiq's the only doctor. So those two, I completely I'm like, yeah, they're the only ones that should stay on the line, as should whoever has kids or is a kid or is in charge of a kid, because they have to go to Aaron's house. Woohoo! Poor Aaron was probably like, what are all these people doing in my home? And because he was with the group that was taking them from Hilltop to then Alexandria. So he left Gracie with somebody, I assume. So while Judith is running off and Negan goes running after Judith because he's like, she's going after the dog, ding dang. The group ends up staying at the sanctuary for some time. And I kept waiting for Carol to chop her hair off. We have no idea what they did to the horses. Either they left them at the sanctuary or they let them roam free, which I don't know what they did. But they end up having to cross into the territory that the Whisperers set up in order to get to the next way station. They have to go over ice in order to do that, and they have to fight the walkers and everything. And Lydia tells Carol, because she goes off on her own, please kill me, I know it's out there. And she goes, no, I'm not going to kill you, because Carol, and Melissa McBride confirmed this on The Talking Dead, saw some of herself in Lydia, a former victim of abuse, someone who can be made stronger. She eventually got over that. She will still see Henry, but not with her. So then they make it to Hilltop, and in the meantime, Negan does rescue Judith and Dog, but gets hurt in the process. And of course, Judith is frozen, and Negan probably also is frozen, as is the dog. So they eventually make it to Aaron's home. Whoop whoop. So then comes the Hilltop sequence, which Lydia looks at all the paintings. And now, of course, we're like, okay, is it going to be Rick? Is it going to be Heath or Jadis or somebody from Fear or a new character or Maggie over the radio? So then Carol ends up breaking up with Ezekiel and is like, here's the ring. And he's like, keep the ring. I'll still love you, blah, 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 which is a very real thing that happens when children pass away. Parents tend to separate or have their marriages crumble or go through really hard times. And I'm so happy Angela Kang not only brought up these realities of abuse and what happens when you lose a child on the show, but she openly discussed them in multiple interviews, including The Walking Dead, including Entertainment Weekly. I just think it was so great that she did that, and that we also got snow. They filmed on the Marvel lot, so I thought that was pretty cool. That's like the largest studio in Atlanta now. Because their outdoor sets like Alexandria, I think Sonoy is about an hour out, which makes sense. So they're all in the central area. Excuse me. So then Michonne and Negan kind of talk. I'm waiting for them to unleash Negan. It will either be Carol or Negan or both killing Alpha. And whoever doesn't will end up killing Beta. Because Carol, even though she saw Beta and heard Alpha, she didn't officially meet them. She also hasn't officially met Negan, which I didn't realize until last night watching The Talking Dead. I was like, oh snap, she hasn't met Negan. That's bizarre. So then comes the big thing at Alexandria, all this stuff. And you see the Whisperers in spring. And that is actually confirmation that about a month has passed again. And that the Whisperers migrated south so that they could avoid the winter. And they are coming back, and basically Alpha's like, Beta, hit me with a switch, because she realizes she messed up with Lydia and is going through some psychological whatever. Not whatever, but you know what I mean. She's going through these stages of grief with Lydia, and Beta's just being Beta. There was a tweet or a YouTube comment about him being the abominable snowman in this episode, and I actually thought that would have been a cool thing to see, like a Beta fight in the snow. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the episode ends with Judith and the King talking to each other via radio, and Judith goes, okay, Ezekiel, I have to go do my homework, bye. And this is after the Michonne and Negan scene and whatnot. And then Of course, we're waiting for the radio. As I said last night in my react, I thought it was Mo Collins from Fear. A lot of people, it is, Angela Kang did not confirm it as a woman, but the closed captioning confirms it as a woman. And it sounds like a woman. It doesn't sound like a higher pitched male voice. I thought it was Mo Collins. Rewatching after watching the Fear trailer, which looks amazing. Daniel and Dwight, I can't wait. I can't wait. And the planes, that sounded like a helicopter. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. John Dory, woohoo. Anyway, it sounded like Jenna Elfman again after I rewatched. And so the general consensus that I'm seeing on Twitter and everywhere is that it is either Maggie Grace or Jenna Elfman as their respective characters, Al and June from Fear the Walking Dead. I still say it kind of sounds a little bit like Mo Collins as Sarah from Fear the Walking Dead, or Maggie, and then a few people are saying it's Jadis. So I'm really intrigued to see where this is going to go. This season has been amazing, and I have to agree with what they said on The Talking Dead last night. This season, so much has happened. So much. So I cannot wait to see what next season brings. I cannot wait to see if it connects to Fear, which I do think it will. I cannot wait to see what these movies entail. Are we going to see Heath again? What is going to happen? And like Tom Paine said when Jesus was killed, there's a chance you could see him again in flashbacks. There are rumors that there are going to be at least one Maggie-related film or episode again, so he could show up again. A lot of Masterson could show up again. This is going to be an amazing season 10. I can sense it. And I cannot wait to see what happens next for these characters. For all we know, there could be another time jump, and the Sadiq Razia baby could be here, and the quadrangle could be having another commentary by Negan with another Carol, Donnie, Daryl commentary happening off in the corner. So let me know what you all thought of the season finale down below. Let me know what you thought of the Fear trailer down below. And please like and subscribe and have a good one, guys. Thanks.